I've been running projects and steer codes for nearly 20 years, and I've never seen an AI demo use a real one. So here is ChatGPT versus Copilot in PowerPoint on that deliverable which decides whether or not your project gets to keep its budget. 10 files of genuine project mess, Slack threads, minutes, a half-finished document, emails, one locked presentation template. Both tools do the whole prep, the status report first and then the deck. Whatever a tool gets wrong early stays wrong, because that's what happens when you trust the output and haven't checked. By the end, one deck I'd nearly present and one deck carrying my name that I never typed. Let's get into it. Scorecard that both tools are going to be ranked on today as we go through. For the status report itself, content accuracy and rework. And then for the deck, we have, again, accuracy, rework, and the template fidelity. So the difference here is that I'm going to be giving it my template for this meeting, and I want to see how well it's used the template, how accurate it is. Has it messed up any of the formatting? Has it changed any of the bits that I didn't want it to change? We will see. Each of these gets a score out of 5, and we will see who the winner is at the end. Here I have a list of project files that equate to Slack messages, meeting notes, email chains, one-to-ones, the whole shebang, the stuff you'd normally accumulate throughout the week as you go along. So to quickly just flip through some examples, here's an email, a couple of emails, here's some notes from a one-to-one, meeting notes, etc. as we go through. Now, as always, to protect the innocent, names, dates, and situations have changed. These are based loosely on real world scenarios in a fictional situation. I am going to upload all 10 of those documents, and I'm going to hop over to Copilot over here, and I'm going to do the same. I'm going to upload all 10 documents. And then, to keep things fair and standard, we're going to make sure that we use the same files across the board, and we're going to use the same prompt across the board here as well. And here's one that I prepared earlier. I'm the project manager for Project Kestrel. Steerco on Thursday. I've given the information about the tiles, some rough notes on exactly what they are. Now, so use only the sources. If the sources conflict, they do conflict. Use the most recent or authoritative. If anything is missing or unclear, there is stuff that is missing and there is stuff that is unclear. Flag it rather than guessing, but we will see how they handle Project Chaos. So they have both now finished and come back with a report. It's picked up on some of the traps that I put in. This was one of them in an earlier communication. That is a different figure, but there was a later one which corrects it to this. So it's picked up on that very well. It's got the right cutover day. It's picked up on the right training rag. Now, hypercare deadline. Here we go. Must be resolved by the 17th. It's picked up on that as well, which is pretty good. There is no unnecessary noise in here that I can see. So for Copilot, 10 out of 10 on the trap. It's genuinely reading it better than I'd have thought that it would have done. Scores for this one. For content accuracy, 5 out of 5. It's not invented anything. It's not dropped anything. It's resolved all the conflicts properly, which is awesome. 4 out of 5 for rework. It's lost the point. Every line is cluttered with OneDrive citation links and Outlook people cards. There's also no in progress section, but it's only a 5 to 10 minute tidy. So 4 out of 5 for that one. Let's see how ChatGPT did. So it's got all the key information. It's identified some conflicts and it's resolved those nicely. 10 out of 10 on this as well. It does slightly edge Copilot, however. So remember, I wanted this ready to send. Part of that is making sure it's in the right format. And one of the things it's done slightly nicer here, it's put a slightly nicer intro section at the top with some information around the date, the period, the steer code date. So that's a bit better. 2 extra actions flagged here at the bottom as well, which is good, where it's flagged some source conflicts and flagged where it might need some information. Scores on this one, content accuracy 5 out of 5. Again, it's picked up all of the conflicts and all of the bits it needed to. It's got all the bits in there that I can just literally copy and paste into a email or wiki or whatever and send off. So excellent work there. So far, GPT leads with 10 points from the first round, where Copilot had 9. Now, stage 2. Stage 2 will involve filling out this rather nice and snazzy template PowerPoint deck, which I had Claude generate for me, as Claude is a neutral party in this battle. But we're not here to judge Claude today. We're here to judge ChatGPT and Copilot. So this is the template that it's going to have to fill out. Copilot has a slight, well, we'll find out if it's an advantage. You'll see on the right hand side here, there is a slightly darker grey box. This is Copilot within PowerPoint. So Copilot will edit your PowerPoint deck directly for you, directly from PowerPoint, whereas we're going to have to ask ChatGPT to create it from scratch. I will give it, obviously, the template. I'll upload the template. So I'm going to start a new chat in ChatGPT. I'm going to upload the PowerPoint template that I've got. I'm going to give it the prompt, and both will have the same prompt. So we have our new chat in ChatGPT. Let's see what it does. Here we go. This is ChatGPT's deck. First question before content. Did it wreck my template? The honest surprise of this whole test. So 10 slides in, 10 slides out. It's kept the same layout, the same order, the same branding. And if you look at the title slide, it's got the meeting date, my name, the reporting period, all correct, all in the right slots. The exec summary slide, it's got the right rag chip in the top there, got the right percentage complete, got the right budget information. It's stated wrong in the notes and corrected 4 hours later in Slack, and that is the correct number. And this one, 95 days to next gate. So that number was written down nowhere. Neither status report had it, but it's worked that out just from the information in the report. So that's nice. Our rag table, now this is a bit I expected to break. So these status strips are colored table cells, and everyone is right. 2 ambers, 2 greens, correct work streams, correct owners. My worked example row is gone, replaced with real content. And what I've found in the past, certainly, especially when it tries to do these rag statuses, it'll end up with either different colors, they'll be slightly misaligned, the format will be off. So this is pretty good. I like it a lot. Budget financials. The slide that I hate to do myself the most, more than anything in the world. So I was hoping that it would be good at this. This is where I put my money on the failure, right? Because this is where it's doing a whole bunch of stuff. It's doing calculations, it's doing visual stuff with actually creating tables and making sure those tables are right and all of that good stuff as well. So it's done well. And it's a native PowerPoint chart. It's edited the right data. The budget series is untouched. Them up 510,000, which is the forecast at completion. It read the notes properly and it's made a good, sophisticated choice. I've watched humans and fellow PMs get this type of slide horrifically wrong in the past. Certainly nothing I would ever do, of course. So fidelity here, 5 out of 5. It didn't rebuild the deck, it edited the file, and it's kept everything as it should be. Lovely. Now, the misses, because there's 2, and they are the kind that would get me and any other project manager in trouble. Milestones and timelines. Milestone 4, full cut over, 28th September, approval requested, but the problem is that date isn't real yet. The baseline was the 14th. The 28th was a proposal committee that this deck's going out to, hasn't voted on yet. So whilst yes, it said approval requested, I wouldn't necessarily commit to putting that in a timeline until it was actually real. So not the end of the world, but still not quite accurate. Up here, training row here. It's a quieter one, but it's a bit worse. So in the status report itself, ChatGPT nailed the training tripwire, which was one more vendor slip, and this work stream goes red automatically. That condition was fought for. It had to be visible. And if you look at the deck commentary, no Slack dates committed. The tripwire's gone. So it survived the first summary and it's died here in the second. And that's the thing about chaining AI outputs together. What survives in the initial summary doesn't necessarily survive twice. So a slight miss there, but overall pretty damn good. It gets a 4 for accuracy for me. Rework, so after a couple of edits there, again, it's 5 minutes worth of work before I edit, so it gets a 4 for rework as well. So in total, that's 23 out of 25, which now brings us to the tool that lives inside PowerPoint. Surely a cracking advantage. Not so much. So full transparency, I've tried to do it in Copilot in the actual PowerPoint deck, but it's not working. As you can see by the glorious error message here, I've tried a couple of times and it is not working. So massive fail. However, instead of this, I've gone ahead and I've just popped the same prompt and the same 2 files into Copilot itself and asked it to do the same task exactly the same way that ChatGPT would be doing it. So massive fail from one of its most touted features. Let's see how it does just in its own tool. So after all of that, Browser Copilot did produce a deck, 10 slides, the same amount as mine. And when you flick through it, I mean, navy background, the right greens, ambers, the little terminal motif, my little footer on every slide. For about half a second, I was impressed. But when you actually look at it, this is not my template deck. This is when you go out on a Friday night and you go excited to see your favorite band, and then it turns out not only is it not your favorite band playing, but it's a tribute act to your favorite band, but it is the worst tribute act for your favorite band. That's how I feel about this deck. This isn't my template. It's a rebuild. It's the wrong font. The logo's gone. There's not a single image in this whole thing. My rag table, the one with the nice color status chips, where I said sometimes AI struggle with it. Here it is struggling with it. It's a car crash. Let's go and have a look at the budget slide. It's not terrible. The math's right. Copilot's answer here was just to completely delete the chart and do something else with boxes. It's quite possibly the least worst slide in the entire deck, but it's not what the steer code deck asks for. And then it gets stranger. It's deleted my agenda slide and invented two slides that I never designed nor asked for: a data migration deep dive slide and a training, adoption and communication slide. Not in the template, not in the request. It's just decided, you know what? I know best. I'm doing this. The instruction was one line, right? Keep the template exactly as designed. It's read my brand, it's repainted my brand, and it's rebuilt the deck. It felt like building. All right, let's do the scoring. Template fidelity, and I'm being generous because it got the colors right at least, so a 1 out of 5 for template fidelity. Now, accuracy, it's relatively accurate throughout. The content it has put in is true to the initial report. It's not overly made anything up, so it gets a 4. It's got the same milestone framing miss as ChatGPT, and it's put a name in there somewhere that I never gave it. Rework, it's not my template. At the very least, the content for the slides, apart from the two it made up, is fine, and I can lift and shift the content out actually into my deck. And here it is, the final scorecard. Status report. ChatGPT, 10 out of 10. Copilot, 9. There was only a point in it at that point, and that was just for Copilot not quite hitting the formatting properly. On the deck, accuracy, 4 apiece. Different sins. Rework, 4 against 1. And fidelity, 5 against 1. Final score here then. 23 to 16 in favor of ChatGPT. Now, what I will call out here is what I wanted to do was show Copilot working inside PowerPoint, and I've used it before for that real life work at work, and it's worked beautifully. So incredibly disappointing that when I'm trying to show you guys what it can do, it decided to sit down on the job. Yeah, so that was unfortunate, and we're to fall back on the browser version of Copilot, and that's when it just absolutely built a deck that I never asked for and never wanted and never want to see again as long as I shall live. Now, the scorecard, the prompts, the notes pack, access to those will be in the newsletter that we will be going out at the end of this week. So you can run these exact tests in your own tools using different ones if you want. Do it in Claude, do it in Grok if you have to. Use different models, see how it works for you. See how it plays with your templates. And feel free to take the scorecard and use it if you're using AI at work to do anything before you send it to anybody important. Remember, as I mentioned in previous videos, AI is not responsible for your work output, you are. Let me know if you've been using this tool at work. I would love to hear your experiences. Have you had a successful run using Copilot within PowerPoint? As I say, I have it in the past. It's just failed miserably when I've tried to show you guys. Drop it in the comments. I would love to hear. Appreciate you all watching. Stay peachy. See you next time.